gentlemen, welcome to our revision session on trig, and this is for grade 12. And I just wanted to bring you some trig proofs which are usually very important for you if ever you want to get good marks on your section on trigonometry. Now, before I start the lesson, I will encourage you, if you have not subscribed to our channel, to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also to have the notification bell switched on so that whenever we post some new videos, you'll be able to be notified that there is a new video. This will always help you to always keep your revisions active. And remember guys, the aim of this YouTube channel is to assist you as much as possible to prepare for your final exams. And if you also have friends, colleagues who also have not gotten hold of this channel, you can also forward it to them so that they can also subscribe. Share the channel. Remember, sharing is caring. Now, in this section, I am bringing you the trigonometric proofs, and this is a question that I took from one of the previous papers. It says prove for any angle A, which is 6 marks, and you are given this particular proof that the left hand side must be equal to the right hand side. So whenever you want to prove, you need to take a position to say, are you starting from the left hand side or are you starting from the right hand side? Now, if you study the left hand side, you can see that there is indeed quite a lot that you can do from it compared to the right hand side, which is just numbers. So we are also going to start from our left hand side. So you indicate that to say, I'm starting from the left hand side. Now, I'm not going to rewrite everything, but whenever you're starting from the left hand side, you need to rewrite everything so that you can start from there. So in this particular case, I'm just going to continue straight. Now, studying this question, looking at it carefully, I just want you to take note of a few things. For example, look at sine A cos A, or sin A cos A. Now, if you look at sin A cos A, and I also brought in some formulas. Now, let's go to the trig side of these formulas, because most of the information they are giving you, you need to also to be familiar with your formula sheet. Now, looking at this formula sheet, I want you to take note of this particular formula, which is sine 2 alpha, which is 2 sine alpha cos alpha. So if I come here and do a little bit of working on the other side, so for example, they are saying sine 2 alpha is equal to 2 sine alpha cos alpha, right? Now, notice sine alpha cos alpha, which is sine A cos A, like that. But now, if then I multiply this by 2 this side and here by 2 this side, I will have 2 sine 2 alpha, which is equal to, now 2 times 2 will give me 4 sine alpha cos alpha. Now, notice this 4 sine alpha cos alpha, which is similarly 4 sine A cos A. So where there is alpha, if I can now substitute with my A here and my A here, you can see that it is based on the expansion of the identity that I just shown you here, to say if you multiply by 2 and you also multiply that by 2, this will become 4 sine alpha cos alpha. I hope you are seeing that. So it is very important for you to have spotted that. So wherever you'll be having, therefore, this part, you can see that that part, which is 4 sine alpha cos alpha, is equal to this part. So now this is actually 2 sine 2 alpha. I hope you are able to see that. So when you have done that, you can see you have also sine 2 alpha there, which makes it actually good. So let's write it now to say this becomes 2 sine 2 alpha cos 2 alpha sine 15 over sin or sine 2a, not 2 alpha actually, it's 2a tan 225 degrees minus 2 sin squared a. Alright, so that is what we have. Now we are able, as we say, to cancel out the sin to a and the sin to a there. With that, remember your aim is to prove. Then you continue to say, now on top you are left with 2 cos 2a. It's 2. Just to have that, which is equal to 2 cos 2 alpha sin 15 degrees all over. Now you have 10, let me just show you again. You have here 10 2 to 5. So you need to reduce this 10 2 to 5 using your reduction rules, and you ask yourself, remember this is the cast diagram now, is where is 225? 225 is in the third quadrant, which is 10 180 plus which angle must we add to 10 1 to 180. If you use a calculator, you will say 225 minus 180, it will give you 45. So it's 45 degrees. And if you check carefully, this now 10 is positive, it will be 1045. And if you find what is 1045, you'll see that it is 1. So in this actual fact, if you just say 10 225, you can see that this was a 1. So this is equal to 1. So how you write it now? You're going to write it as 10 with the reduction rule, 180 degrees plus 45. Remember, you need to show all your working, minus 2 sin squared a. Then if you continue with the working, you are going to have equal to 2 cos 2a sin 15 degrees all over. Now that becomes 1045 minus 2 sine squared a. Again, you're continuing now to state that this is 1 because this is now a special angle 1045, which is 2 cos 2a sine 15 over 1 minus 2 sine squared a. So it has taken you to this stage. Now the next part is for you to recognize again. Let us look at this part, which is 1 minus 2 sine squared a. Now look at it carefully. This 1 minus 2 sine squared a. Go to the formulas and focus on the formula for cos 2 alpha and look at this one, which is 1 minus 2 sine squared alpha. You can see that it is the same as 1 minus 2 sine squared a, because in this case, wherever there is a alpha, we can put a. So this is equal to cos 2 alpha. So you can come here and say this part is equal to actually cos 2 alpha. So now when you continue to simplify it, it will be equal to 2 cos 2 alpha sine 15 over, now where there is 1 minus 2 sine squared a, you are going to have cos 2a. Why are you doing that? Again, this will cancel out. So the answer then will become equal to 2 sin 15 degrees. So you have simplified it up to this far. Alright, so having done that part, it is then just to say, if I can just divide this like this. Just don't want my work to be too far from this. Now look at this. We have managed to simplify. Our final answer is 2 sin 15. So we have managed to simplify that so that it become equal to 2 sin 15 degrees. Now with that, let us go back again to our formulas and looking at 15, because there is nothing I can do with 15 degrees, but you must remember the expansion rule of sine. Now there are two of them, and from these, if I can just focus now on this, look at that part. We have got the first one here, that is sine alpha plus beta, and you have got this one, which is sine alpha minus beta. So now it's up to you which one you want to choose, but for example, let's say I'm going to choose the first one, sine alpha plus beta. Let me write it as is. So I have sine alpha plus beta is equal to, it says sine alpha cos beta. Here just write it as is, sine alpha cos beta, and plus cos alpha sine beta. So plus cos alpha sine beta. So this is the one of the expansion rules that you are having. So now the compound angles. In this case, I want to write 15 in terms of alpha plus beta, but you must use special angles. In this case, there are different ways of writing 15. For example, I can write 15 by saying, in terms of special angles, remember, special angles are 30. The special angles we are given is 30 degrees, it's 45 degrees, and it's 60 degrees. So you want to write 15 in terms of these. So one of the ways you can do it, you can say using plus. Remember, we have to add. So if I can say in this case, if I'm to say plus, is there a way 15 degrees? There is no way of using the plus, so which means I need to use the second one, which is minus. So this one is not going to work for me. Let me use the minus one. So if I now subtract that to say, instead of the positive, let me use the negative one, and also the sign changes. Now look at the negative one, it's still sine alpha cos beta and cos alpha sine beta, but the only difference is the negative sign. So here I'm now having the minus, and then I'm having the minus there. So now how can I get 15 subtracting? For example, I can say 45 minus 30, it gives me 15. Or I can say 60 minus 45, it gives me 15. Whichever one you are going to choose, the answer will still be the same. So let's say I want to choose, in this case, that one. So when I write it now, it will be sine. Now in this case, my 45 is my alpha, my 30 is my beta, and I'm going to focus, follow up this identity here as is, so that I can substitute in it. So I'm having sine, my alpha is 45, my beta is 30, is equal to sine. Now it's 45 cos 30 degrees. Remember, we are dealing with angles. And then it's minus cos, my alpha is 45, and cos alpha sine beta, which is 30. So that is what you are having whenever you simplify that. So when you do so, let's just continue to simplify it further, and then we're going to use that into the final. Now, using your calculator, you don't have to prove how you get your special angles. Now look at sine 45. You see it's root 2 over 2, but those who know, if you write root 2 over 2, you're going to be penalized because you use the calculator here. But you must know, where is this coming from? Root 2 over 2 is coming from 1 over root 2. If ever you're not using a calculator, you're supposed to come with 1 over root 2. So you can see 1 over root 2 is root 2 over 2. So this is same as not sine now. We already know that sine 45 is 1 over root 2. And then that multiplies cos 30. And if we say that cos 30 degrees is root 3 over 2. Alright, minus, again, cos 45, it's similar to sine 45. So cos 45 is root 2 over 2, but we're going to write 1 over root 2 multiplying sine 30. That would be a half there. Sine 30 is equal to 1 over 2. So you see that if you now simplify this, we want to simplify that. Now 1 times root 3, it will be root 3 over 2 root 2, which is 2 times root 2, minus 1 times 1 is 1 over 2 root 2. Now the common denominator here, you can see that it is 2 square root of 2. So what you have there on top will be root 3 minus 1. So what does it mean? So if this is simplified, look at this now. I'm saying here sine 15 degrees is equal to sine 45 degrees minus 30 degrees. Remember, that is our 15 degrees, and I'm taking from there, which has simplified to this, which is equal to square root of 3 minus 1 over 2 root 2. But in our question, we are not given sine 15. We're given, look at this, we are given 2 sine 15. Therefore, you can compute and say 2 sine 15 degrees is equal to 2 times that, which is root 3 minus 1 over 2 square root of 2. I seen that. That's what you're given. Then continue, which is equal to, the 2 will cancel that 2 because this is over 1. So we are going to have root 3 minus 1 over square root of 2. Now, if you go to the top and check the answer, they're saying your answer must be, actually, you see, you've just got 2 at the bottom, and because you've got 2 at the bottom, if I look at this, I've got square root of 2 at the bottom, so which means they rationalized here. By rationalizing, you multiply by square root of 2 over square root of 2. So when you do that, this will be equal to, now it's square root of 2 multiplying square root of 3 minus 1 all over, now square root of 2 times square root of 2, remember it's 2, so that's what you're having here. So this is equal to, when you open that bracket, 2 times 3, it's square root of 6. You also open that bracket, minus square root of 2 over 2. Now, if you check carefully, this is root 6 minus root 2 over 2 is what? They gave us root 6 minus root 2 over 2. Therefore, when you have done that, you are going to say this is equal to my right hand side. So we've proved it, and that is what they wanted us to prove. So that is how you can approach it, and as I said, it was up to you how you wanted to go from here. Some could have used, instead of 45 minus 30, they could have used 60 minus 45. It was still going to give you the same answer. And with proofs, there are many ways of always approaching these questions, and it's up to you how you always want to do it. And I'm not going to do much in terms of what I was going through here, in terms of simplifying this, but there was a lot of ways you could have done this question, especially here when it says 1 minus 2 sine squared. So some here, they prefer to say from this 1 here, they will prefer actually to convert this one. Remember, 1 is cos squared theta plus sine squared theta, so that they can use that. Still, it will lead you though to cos 2a at the end of the day. So there are many ways, as I said, but now for the sake of time, we've come to the end of our channel. Now, as I said, guys, there are many lessons I keep on posting, especially on trigonometry. There is a lot of lessons I'll keep posting because this is one of the most important sections for you in your grade 12. It carries a lot of marks, and if you can master this section for paper 2, you are going to be 30 to 40% will be yours if you master trigonometry. And I bring in most of these so that you can actually remove some of the challenges or confusions you are having. Now, this channel is focused on the underdogs, and I'm meaning those who feel like maths is challenging them, but they believe in themselves that I know if I can master this, I can still get good marks and still proceed to the university. You can still get your distinction, you can still get your 60, 70% on your maths. And if you follow this channel, it is for you who says, I am struggling with mathematics, I'm having a challenge with mathematics. If you want now some private lessons, remember to grab hold of, at the end of this lesson, you see our website. Check our website and you'll find how you can be helped. We have come to the end of our lesson. Remember, I'm rooting for you to get good marks in the final. Thank you.